Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Lakshmi sir. Sir, your mic is on mute, sir.
Hi, good morning, Raghav.
Yes, sir. Good morning. How are you, sir?
Doing great. Thanks.
Yes. I've received your presentation, sir.
Yeah,
You can share your screen when you're presenting. If any problem happens, I'll support you. By presenting the screen of mine.
sure. That's good.
Saroj Pradhan, sir.
হ্যালো আসলে হতে হবে যাই নাকি
Yes, good morning, sir. Sir will be joining just in a sec, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
So I hope like we have uh, Neetu madam joined the session, or we are waiting for madam to join.
let me check, sir.
Yes, as well as if the professor Antaryami Mishra has to join for the session by 11 o'clock, right?
Let me check on that, sir. Yes, sir. He will be joining at 11 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah, since he has to address the gathering on the welcome
Yes,
note.
sir. Yes, sir. Let me check on that also.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you, Daniel?
Doing good. Doing good. How are you?
Doing great, Daniel. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Nice to meet you. You're welcome.
Dr. Neetu, ma'am?
Good morning, sir. This is Sashwat from placement team of Bhubaneswar. Neetu ma'am hasn't joined yet. I'm checking on that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Good morning, sir. Neetu ma'am has just joined. Yes.
Hello, Samarjit, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Your voice is audible, sir. I can hear your voice.
I have joined.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We were able to see your audio as well as both. See as well as listening to you.
Good morning, madam.
Very good morning. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. You're audible, loud and clear.
Yes,
Video
ma'am.
is fine too.
Okay. I just want to know whether I can share the screen if I want to.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You can. Yes.
Thank you. I think we can start the program because our member secretary sir has also joined. So we should start the program.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, please start. I have joined, already joined Nitu.
Yeah, like I'm waiting to see the number of participants, those who have joined the program, sir. I hope we can start the program, Saroj Pradhan, sir.
Sir, participants are in YouTube also.
Okay.
We have made YouTube live also.
Okay. So I hope time is 11 to, sir. Hope we can start the program now. Or should we wait for some more time, sir?
A humming sound is coming.
Yes. Yes, sir. Let me
Some
check
audio
on that.
disturbance is there.
From
Saroj, sir? Yes. Now it's clear, sir. So shall we start the program, sir?
Sir, yes.
Yes.
I request Professor Dr. Antarjami Mishra to start the program. Sir, please.
yeah, very good morning to all of you. I am Professor Antarjami Mishra, the State Project Administrator of SPI Odisha. In fact, it is a matter of great pleasure that in fact a workshop on career opportunities and recruitment trends post COVID-19 pandemic has been organized by the Training Placement Department of CUT Bhubaneswar. At the outset, I have the privilege of conveying my heartfelt thanks to the organizers that they have given me the opportunity to start the event. I would like to welcome Professor Rajiv, Member Secretary AICTE, and Dr. Nitu Bhagat, Deputy Director of All India Council of Technical Education, Mr. Lakshmi Narayan, the Vice President HR of Infosys College, Mr. Manish Kumar, Chief Innovating Officer of Panasonic, and Jasrita Dhir, Associate Vice President Brand and Marketing, Fortis Healthcare, and Mr. Daniel Jacob, the Vice President HR of EC Group, and Mr. Srinivasan of ICT. In fact, the topic that has been chosen for this workshop is of importance with the present scenario of the entire world. Since February or March, India is suffering due to this COVID-19 pandemic. Many a times we are facing lockdown, shutdown, and so on and so forth. Under such circumstances, it is necessary that how do we train our students, those who are future generation, to have a better career, and what are these opportunities available within this environment, and how recruitment can be done in good companies, reputed companies, so that the future of India can be built by these young and budding engineers. In fact, the problem is that it is a two-way program, because one is the producer and another is the user. As far as we are concerned, we are producing students or engineering graduates having BTech or MTech degree, and they are now under tremendous pressure how to get a placement in a good company. Similarly, the companies are also interested, may not be all but few, to select the right candidate for the right job. So it is the criteria that is being set by industries, and their recruitment criteria must be compatible to the learning process or the graduates that were produced. So friends, definitely we have to look for something else. We have to look for agile environment, both in higher technical education institutions as well as industries, and we have to see that the workforce that we are producing, they are properly trained, and accordingly we have to switch over to digital transformation under such circumstances and teach our students on future skills, mostly on artificial intelligence, cyber security, blockchain, Internet of Things, machine learning, and so on behalf of P3, we have trained in IITs and NITs our faculty members, selective faculty.
So your voice is not audible, sir.
Voice is not audible.
Yeah, now it's clear, sir.
Is it clear?
Now it is fine, sir. Now it is fine. Please carry on, sir.
Hello.
Sir, please carry on.
Hello. Okay. So under such circumstances, okay, a good with the guests or the speakers who are present here to be focused on mostly on engineering institutions imparting undergraduate and postgraduate level. Once again, on behalf of State Odisha and on behalf of College of Engineering and Technology Bhubaneswar, I express my heartfelt gratitude to all of you to make this workshop a grand success. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your welcome note as well as the insightful thoughts for the audience, the students community, those who are participating in the program across Odisha. And I can note that a few of the other state participants across the country are also participating in this program. Thank you so much for your insightful thoughts. Let me invite Dr. Neetu Bhagat to set the context for the program. Since AICTE, All India Council for Technical Education, is taking a lot of efforts to improve the skill ecosystem as well as the educational ecosystem of the country by doing various activities. One such activity is this impact workshops, organizing impact workshops across the country, and this is the first workshop is being organized in the state of Odisha with the support of National Project Implementation Unit, which has been supported by ICT Academy. Where let me invite Dr. Neetu Bhagat to set the context of the workshop so that we will be able to initiate the workshop by inviting the industry professionals, those who are joining us for the program from EC Group and from Fortis Healthcare and from Infosys Compass as well as from Panasonic. And end of the session, Professor Rajiv Kumar sir will give his thoughts and close the session by giving his valuable inputs on the impact workshop as well as how students can effectively build their career and what are the trends which are available in the world, as well as how effectively students has to take care of their internship. Okay, thank you so much to all, and I'll request Dr. Neetu Bhagat to set the context for the workshop. Professor Antaryami Mishra sir, you can mute your mic, sir.
And Antaryami, he has logged in at two places. We ask him to just stick to only one, and that is echo and lot of disturbance.
Yes, sir. Let me check on that, sir.
Neetu ma'am, you can start now.
Yeah. Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to welcome all the panelists to this program, all the industry representatives as well as the dignitaries from AICTE. It's my privilege to be part of this initiative, and this initiative was started under the guidance of our Honorable Chairman Sir, Member Secretary Sir, Vice Chairman Sir. And how it started, I would like to inform everyone. Actually, 3 years before, AICTE decided that internship should be made mandatory for all the students. AICTE has taken 10 quality initiatives, and all these quality initiatives were aiming to improve the employability of engineering students. And AICTE emphasized more on internship because hands-on learning and practical training would definitely improve the employability of our students. After that, AICTE has done various efforts to improve the internship opportunities for the students. And this impact workshop is one such initiative where we have seen that some good colleges, with the help of their mentee colleges, they will be creating some success stories, and these success stories in turn will be showcased to the some colleges from the tier 2 cities who are actually facing problem in getting the internship. I would like to share one presentation also here. Just a minute. I think I'm facing a problem in sharing the content. That is not that important also. I just wanted to inform about the AICTE internship policy. AICTE has developed one internship policy. Just a minute. I think it's starting. I hope it's visible to all. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. It's visible.
I just wanted to tell that AICTE has developed one internship policy where AICTE is saying that all the degree students and diploma students, they should complete some to achieve the degree, and these credits are for internship. For degree student, these credits are 14 to 20 credits, and for diploma students, it's 10 to 16 credit. One credit is equal to 45 hours of work. And we are suggesting that internship should happen during the summer vacations. It is just a suggestion. At the same time, AICTE is also saying if college is able to provide a space to the student where a student is able to do a 6-month internship at a scratch, that is most welcome. So this has to be on the mutual understanding of the college and the industry. So this is a suggestion that all the summer vacations should be internship. And internship is not only industrial internship. We are also saying that any in the first year, because a student is not ready to go to the industry, that a student can do any inter-institutional activities, any kind of training, any kind of workshop, whatever learning he is doing in institutional workshop. These all things may be counted as internship-related activities. Then in the second and third year, we are saying that internship and entrepreneurship, these two activities should be counted as internship activities, because students at time we are saying that 1000 hours they should be devoting for internship related activities. And if a student is more interested into entrepreneurship, he want to start his own business, or he want to do something new and start his own startup, so he is also allowed. And then our new thing that AICTE has introduced, that is rural internship, because the purpose is that the role for higher educational institutes in rural economy should be more, because India is a kind of agrarian economy and most of its population lives in rural. If a student is ready to work there, because it's not that it is only for the social service, it is for his own development, and for tapping the potential which is available in the rural society. So we have introduced rural internship also. If a student is doing something in the rural area, it will also be counted as rural internship. Then project work, seminar, etc. The way a student is doing. These are some internship related activities. So all the entrepreneur activities, the internship in government, NGO, PSU, any MSME, at the same time internship and NSKF level 3, 4 and 5 if a student is doing during his degree or diploma program. These all activities will be counted as internship activities. Then one more thing that AICTE has introduced, it is AICTE Activity Point Program. It is not the industrial internship. It is if a student is doing something for community service and allied activities, that will be counted as AICTE Activity Point Program. It is a non-credit activity. It will not affect your OGPA, but at the same time, it is important to complete and get the degree. So you have to complete the AICTE Activity Point Program, and whatever we have suggested in the AICTE internship policy, we have said that one student should complete at least 300 to 400 hours for AICTE Activity Point Program during his degree and diploma program. So these are some suggestive activities. I'll not go in the detail. You can go through the AICTE internship policy. most of the colleges are already doing these activities, and the purpose is that should develop an inclination toward the social service. He should have he should learn how to work in the team also. And then AICTE has developed an internship portal. The new internship portal you can see online, and there are various kind of internship. The main internship right now we are giving is with Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. We are calling it Tulip internship. There students are getting opportunity to work in some smart cities project, in some urban development project with the urban local bodies. And then we are also going to sign MOU with NHAI, and those internship will also be available through the AICTE internship portal. It has also encouraged institutions to sign MOU with the industry. As a result, 45,000 MOUs have already been signed. And then this is the newer initiative which we are calling Impact Workshop Series. That is internship mobilization and promotion through academia corporate tie-up. This impact workshop was launched by Honorable HRM sir, and after that we have selected 20 colleges in tier 2 cities as venues and organizers. They are the mentor college, and these 20 colleges we have asked to select 10 colleges which have good industry connect, which are in nearby area, which are AICTE approved. And these colleges, in a cluster approach, they will be organizing internship fair, they will be organizing industry meet, and all these activities should result to the internship as well as industry academia connect activity. It may be a research project, it may be a consultancy project, it may be a center of excellence. So all these information we are collecting through the impact portal, and we have given login credential to all the 20 colleges. They are requested to upload all the activities that they are doing in this regard on this portal. And we have also given the login credential to the affiliated 10 colleges. So total 200 colleges, they have been given this login credentials. What is the target of this impact program? We are planning that 1 lakh opportunities should be created through this program for those colleges. At the same time, when success stories will be shared with 200 colleges in each workshop, so we can see that more than 5,000 colleges will be impacted through this initiative. So all these colleges should be 4,000 colleges will be targeted, and then we are expecting that industry attachment for polytechnic student, more than 5,000 opportunities will be created. Tech industrial project, more than 3,500 will be created, and PhD research project almost 1,700 will be created. And we are doing these in 20 cities. So these are the targets. We are expecting that every college will be working on this. And yes, this is all about these impact workshop initiative. And today this meeting, this is actually happening. Yes. So this is one of such activity which we have requested colleges to do, and ICT Academy is helping in this activity. Right now, NASSCOM, ICT Academy, FICTE, CII, these are actively engaged in this program. They are directly connected with the colleges, and various organized. This is one of the event which is being in a big way with the ICT Academy. So we are expecting that this initiative during the lockdown period will definitely result into good internship opportunities to the students. So thank you everyone for your effort, and I request the college for the further proceeding.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for setting the context for the entire program. And we have 4 eminent professionals from the industry are joining us for the program. Already Mr. Daniel Jacob, the VP HR of EC Group, has joined, and like we have Lakshmi Narayanan from Infosys, the leading recruitment organizations like Infosys, EC Group, and Panasonic. Manish Mishra, the Chief Innovation Officer, is going to join us by 12 o'clock. And we have the Brand and Marketing Associate Vice President, Ms. Jasrida is going to join us by 11:30. So I hope these four industry professionals will give the inputs about what are the career opportunities as well as the recruitment trends which are available for the students post-COVID, and how effectively the student has to improve their skill sets to fetch the job in the job market. It is going to be a great input from all these four industry professionals. Let me invite first Mr. Daniel Jacob. Before he starts his speech, I would like to introduce him by reading out a few of the important achievements done by Daniel Jacob. Daniel possesses an overwhelming 14 years of experience in the domain of human resource with wide range of specializations such as employee engagement, HR, audits, employee relationship, employee retention, employee branding kind of activities. And he's also conferred with the award 40 most talented HR leaders in India award for the year 2014 by World HRD Congress in Mumbai, and HR Leadership Award by Asia Pacific HRM Congress in 2014. And to say few about his education, he is an alumni of Karunya University, pursued his management education there, as well as Bachelor of Computer Science from Bharatiya University. With no more waiting, let me invite Mr. Daniel Jacob to give us valuable inputs to the students community. Over to you, Daniel.
Sure. So thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you, Mr. Raghav from AICTE Academy and College of Engineering and Technology, Bhubaneswar, Odisha, and AICTE for this opportunity. It's always joy to come and share to the student community, also along with my colleagues from the HR industry. It's such a joy to share. Okay, and also hearing from AICTE, Neetu ma'am, about all the initiatives that AICTE is coming up with for internship. 1,000 hours of internship is what she mentioned, almost 6 months, 6 months of internship for a student, an 4-year degree student. I think that's a great idea. And I'm sure now government and all the government bodies are doing whichever, in whatever way possible, to make an engineering education meaningful for everybody who goes through in the country, which is like lakhs of students every year. Okay, and which means that it is an army of people, right? It's an army of people coming out of engineering colleges every year, and India being in the advantage of the age advantage, the geography advantage, right now the economy, Asian economy advantage, all that. Amongst all this advantage, right now suddenly a pandemic comes through, right? Like the COVID-19. As somebody said, one of the worst investment I made in 2019 was to buy a 2000 planner, and all that planned is not going as planned. It is true for the industry, true for the country also. Because right now, even countries are now 4 months into the pandemic and lockdown. Now we as a country are kind of coped with several things, but still struggling with several things. Same is happening in the industry also. The talk of the HR is right now COVID, pre-COVID, post-COVID, what is happening with COVID? How can we survive with COVID? What do we do? All that. Because all that we planned for 2021, 20 and 21, this physical is not holding good, right? We had this, we wanted to hire these many people, growth target and this, that, all the targets we set, but suddenly, everything happened like that, gone like that. So we do not know also how to respond to this in the beginning. For example, when we when the Prime Minister announced the lockdown countrywide, now we as a company also started working on that before. So even before the lockdown was announced, we all 100% started working from home. Okay, so we were preparing for that and all that. So that time we created a strategy group to come up with strategies to handle the situation, how to handle all this without any challenge to the business. And we said we will not create any plan or strategy for more than a week. because anything you do, then it is changed. Because initially it was for 15 days. If only we created a strategy for 15 days, then it was extended to another 15 days, another 15 days, another 15 days. Now we are into about 150 days into this. Now, how do we do that? Such a big challenge in our mind. And with all the predictions, the data that we see, the news that we read, what we hear from the industry, what we hear from our clients. We're an American company, so all our clients are from the US. When America is getting hit hard, when things are going hard, then it is like we need to carefully watch what is happening and know how to handle this and how to respond to this finally, because that matters, right? And coming to the Indian context, how things are happening and so on. We've been in such discussions for almost 3 months now. Now I personally conducted several panel discussions on bringing on my HR friends, bringing experts from the industry on to discuss. What do we do? How do we do? And so each had like various ideas and how to recover from this. Okay, first of all, before talking about the problem and what to do and how there are a few ways students can actually respond to it, quickly talking about what is happening in the HR industry right now. I said all the plans we had for hiring, all the plans that the business had for growth is kind of has come to a pass right now. Okay, there are three areas, three things are happening right now. One, some industries are not hit so far because still we as a service providers to companies, the IT service providers to organizations in the different parts of the world, totally it depends on how much are they affected by the pandemic. Okay, so we are very careful in watching. Okay, so there are companies of all the discussions I've had, interviewed and read. So these three scenarios. One is some companies have not went through any difficulties. Okay, so they're trying to go with the plan as they planned before, but carefully, watchfully. They don't want to actually do it in a long term. But as I said, 15 days, 30 days. Let us plan for the next 30 days or 15 days. Then take a decision whether to go in that direction or not. That is a small group of the small set of companies doing it. A huge set of companies, what they do is they kind of put everything into pause. Okay, so let us not, because we do not know when we do not know when the things will change and so on. So people are saying let us not take any risk. Especially companies want to be very, very careful in spending, right? We wanted to be really careful in spending even $1 more in what we do. So we are trying to see in what way we can actually stabilize. Without spending much cost, how can we stabilize things is what we are looking at. For example, suddenly, if we as a company ever had experience of all 100% people working from home before, so we need to actually make sure there are several things happening. Even our employees are from Odisha. Today, as I talk, people from Cuttack logged into work for our organization. Okay, so which means we wanted to make sure that they went back home safe. They got stable setup, stable connectivity to start their work. Thanks to all the revolution in internet and in connectivity, anywhere from the village, many of our employees are working from village. They're able to connect back. They're able to actually work. And that is a good thing. So how to leverage that? Okay, good. We need to make sure that they're comfortably sit. We wanted to take care that emotionally they're fit and all that. So provide them whatever is necessary and stabilize. Okay. I think this 3 months, kind of we were able to stabilize that things. Things are okay. Things are going fine without any much struggle while we carefully watch what is happening with the clients. Okay. In that side in mind, now we are thinking, okay, maybe are we ready to pull the trigger on recruitment, because, for example, in our company, so far to pandemic, we lost just one client. Okay, and because they got about 70% of the business got hit, and in fact, they are a several billion-dollar company, and they got affected by 70% of their business because that's how they were in a position on their business. And we got to actually resize and all that for that. Unfortunately, the other things did not happen. So we are thinking, maybe we are ready to go ahead with the plans. Today, after this meeting, I'm going to release set offer letters to freshers from engineering colleges. So that is what. So whatever we had about 3 months delayed or 4 months delayed now, then little bit it's starting to grow. That is one. Another in this big criteria, as some set of companies have started kind of restarting things, another set of companies still not sure. Even in fact, many companies they've kind of gone through salary cuts, they've gone through job cuts and so on. That's the other side of it. Okay, it's severely affected because they do not know how much they should be doing more, and especially even startups, their fundings are very much affected, right? So they do not know whether how to do it. While people are wisely using this time to come up with innovative ideas and so on, still funding is not happening. And people, investors, they want to be also very careful. Big companies like Larsen and Tubro, any big companies, they're all saying, no, we want to just hold on right now, to be careful. And also even they're wanting to see, because the predictability right now is very less. That's the problem. As business people, we are willing to take calculative risk, but the predictability right now is very less. So we are also seeing in what way we can actually re-innovate ourselves, find ourselves to address this problem is what's happening. So these are the broad three categories where some companies are going, very few plan. The big majority of companies kind of put on hold. In that, some companies are trying to restart now after 4 months, and a big set of companies still going through the challenges. And the other last set of companies who severely affected, pay cut, salary cut, job cuts, and so on. Even startups, many companies, because they, of course, we can show so many things. But quickly, so that is what is happening. Okay, as a student, what should I learn from this? As a student, it is important that I need to be aware what is happening in the industry. I am a civil engineer. What is happening in my industry? I'm a mechanical engineer. What is happening in my industry? I'm a computer science engineer. What is happening in my industry is very, very, very important knowing. Okay, so the first takeaway is to keep your eyes open on what is happening in the industry, because you may be the solution provider for the problem that is happening in the industry. That's what I wanted to cover in the last part. Before I get into that, just some statistics on what is happening in the industry, where some news is finding news is, we cannot go back and actually look for one month old news, because that is irrelevant right now. Things have changed very much. Sorry. So this is what the Economic Times August 18th release says. COVID hit Indian economy May shrunk 14 to 26% in the first quarter of 2021, the physical 2021. So what is going to happen? We need to know. So this is from Statistica. This is what they say. So see the kind of industry, how much they're affected. So financial, real estate, professional services hit by about 17%, and mining and electricity, gas, construction, trades, hotel, communication, broadcast services, and manufacturing, agriculture, and so on. You as a student, it is very, very important to know what it is and how to interpret for your good is what you need to be always careful, because you are the supply for the demand that is there in the industry. Your ideas are the supply in the industry. Then we need to know what is the demand. If we do not know that, then we kind of will be giving solution to an unknown problem, or a problem that is not there, or the problem that is changed. We had a solution that was there for a problem that was pre-COVID. Right now, it may not be relevant, right? So you need to be careful in how you actually rearrange the solution to suit the right need. Okay, another statistics here from CNBC. See how it has gone down, but it is up to April. How it is now suddenly there is a dip, very big dip. Okay, and in the industrial production, because everybody want to be careful. They don't want to produce. They just wanted to stop, halt. Also, no employment problem. People know migrant laborers, all that they gone. So employees problem, all that. So suddenly there is a dip. But here, if you see, this is actually up to the India's manufacturing and services sectors. Yellow is the service sector, manufacturing sector, blue is the service sector. See, there is a V kind of, it is not U, it is kind of a V you see, V-shape now recovery you see here, which is a kind of a good news is what I see. Okay, because there was a huge dip, but still there is a recovery is happening. Services are not as much as taken like that. No, industries are not as much as taken, but see the services kind of taking little sharper V here. Okay, which is a good news. So we need to see in May. Now we are in June. June, July is over. August is also getting over, which means it's kind of going up, which is a good news. Okay, that is what I wanted to tell the students. Okay, it's a good news. Okay, see this rural and urban employment. Okay, unemployment statistics. This is blue is rural and yellow is urban. See, gone up to 30% or so, but it's actually coming down. Right now, it's about less than 15%, very close to 10% unemployment rate, both in rural and urban. So, which means all the jobs lost, the unemployment increased. Right now, it is actually decreasing. Employment is increasing, unemployment is now decreasing. So, which is a good news. Okay, good. Now, with all that said, now it's a blank. I, as a student, what I should do? How can I actually respond to this? Right? As I said, with all that said, So with all that actually said, as a student, one thing is very, very important. Okay, as I said, even in this space where smaller percentage of people are continuing to do, here it's a halt, here it's a loss. Calculating together, overall, we need to accept that this year and next year or 2 more years, it's going to be very, very hard time for getting a good employment that we needed. We need to accept the reality, one, because if we don't accept, we will not prepare ourselves for a better thing, right? So we need to accept, one, definitely industry is changing. The input intake is not as much as used to be last year, because even the planned things are not going down. Because even the pro-COVID also economy was not doing all that great, right? So there itself we were all little cautious in how to do, but then we created this number, but still we cannot implement that numbers because of the COVID. Okay, in the situation, industry is thinking like that. So which means the demand is kind of reduced than what it used to be year on year, but the supply is the same or more, because all the students completing 4 years will be completing 4th year, right? So the probability is less, or the opportunities are less, the supply is more. Then what happens? Competition increases. The competition is very much increasing. Then we need to prepare ourselves, or put us in a different way, prepare in a different way to face this problem. Okay, first, number one, pandemic something is not usually happens. It's very, very different than usually what happens. Okay, so which means when extraordinary times like this happens, you as a student, you need to respond to this extraordinarily to handle the problem. Otherwise, you will be in trouble. So extraordinarily, what you can do is what you need to think. I have another 2 minutes. Quickly, I will tell you now what you can do. One, think out of the box. When I say think out of the box, you as an engineer, okay, engineer from various disciplines, think. You are a solution provider, right? God creates, then engineer creates. So you're in that level, right? So to create something or to provide solution for something, you need problem. Problem is the commodity for providing solution, right? Basics for providing solutions, right? Right now you see around everywhere, there are a lot of problems. So you as an engineer, you should be excited about seeing all this problem, because there are a lot of opportunity for you to come up with solutions. Okay, there are so many ways actually you can provide solutions. That is what the good news I wanted to share with you. You as an engineer, don't be worried about job cuts. Don't be worried about whether the industry is doing good or not. See, there are a lot of problems. See, put yourself as a solution provider than a solution seeker. Absolutely, that road is very, very less crowded. So many people listen to TED Talks and read out so many news on a day-to-day basis. There are so many innovative solutions are coming up. And don't think that you as a student will not be able to do it. I'm working with a set of students who come up with creative ideas, lot of creative ideas. For example, in the next 1 minute, I want to share now quickly on what, just to give you some encouragement. No, what I was able to do in the pandemic. Okay, for example, so when we saw all these migrant laborers, all these people are now struggling without job and all that, we quickly created an app called Shake Poverty. People who go through, now they should be addressed. go through problems in some way, they should be helped in some way. Then we said, as friends, we all come together, we start to develop this app. Lot of volunteers joined, lot of donors joined, and so far about 5 lakhs people we were able to track this through this application. Okay, and you can also go and look at it. And the second place we saw women's safety. One girl came and said women's safety is not good, domestic violence increased, what can we do? We created an app where we created, not go in detail. The third one I wanted to talk, the employment. A lot of people are losing jobs. The same time, lot of industries are calling us. All the migrant workers are gone. We need more employees. Now, can you help us? Now, we have already 6,000 requests like that. So we created quickly an app where employers can actually post. I, as a volunteer, go and post about all the unskilled labor who are ready to come. Even these companies are saying we can go to northeast and north and now bring candidates to here from Odisha, from everywhere, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, and so on. So the thing is, what I'm trying to say is, when there is more problem, more solutions are expected, and you can be a solution provider. Okay, that's the good news. Students, while you wait for your job, while you wait for your semester exam to get over, I will strongly recommend that you start looking for problems and start identifying solutions. Okay, when you have a solution, employees will come in search of you. You need not go and look for employment, is what I wanted to say and finish. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much speech and a lot of inputs given to the students. And there is one very specific question from the student side, like post-COVID, will this work from home situation will continue? If that continues, what kind of a skill set to be acquired by the students to get a job in the job market?
Yeah. So the first thing you need to do is you should know how to crack a virtual interview, because last 2 weeks I was doing all virtual interviews, HR interviews. Okay. Even though, like, we used to talk about communication, right? When you are full of skills, still you're not able to tell what you have, you'll not be selected. The same way, with full of communication, with full of skills, if you do not know how to crack a virtual interview, have a good setup, have a good microphone, to speak to this, camera, the first thing you need to develop that. Because at least for next 1 year, all the interviews you'll be attending will be a virtual interview. So prepare yourself for that. Second thing, make sure you have the personal discipline in working, because nobody will be monitoring you. Quickly, because for the answer, I strongly recommend, if only you want to increase your probability of hiring, I will strongly say, in your resume, have a column in the front page saying my lockdown achievements. When you draw this, if your column is empty, your likelihood of hiring post-COVID is actually very less. Because I wanted to know, because all the interviews that I did in last 2 weeks, the first question I asked was this: what did you achieve in the lockdown? Because if somebody says in this lockdown achieved this, I can very much believe him, hire him, because he'll be going to be working in a remote environment without any supervision. Okay, I wanted a person who's self-disciplined, a person who can sit and work in a place where there's nobody's monitoring. You need to develop those skills. You need to give that confidence to your employer that you are trustable, you can be produce wherever you are. So these are the few skills you need to develop in a work from home setup.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Thanks for joining us and giving a lot of inputs to the students. And the final question to you is, what kind of internship opportunities which are available with DC group of companies, Daniel, so that the students will be able to directly approach you or approach your HR department to get the internship opportunity with DC group?
Yes. So actually, for internship, I will say this is a great time, okay, for both the industry, also for the students in academia, because right now, as I said, everybody is worried about how much I should spend and so on. Okay, so the industries are saying maybe internships might work, because we cannot make a bad hire and actually lose money because of that. So I can actually provide internship for 10 students in case I wanted actually 5 students or 2 students. Let me give internship for 10 students. Let me actually use, because of all the other things, some of my employees also actually have time to train. So let me create an internship plan so that people can come and be trained. And finally, end of the internship program, I will exactly know who will fit into my job, the job that I have. Okay, so we from EC Group also kind of increased the usual internship size to more, because that is helpful for us right now. Yes, we can approach us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Daniel, for joining us and giving a lot of input to the students, Daniel.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you very much, everyone, for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. Now let's have Lakshmi Narayanan KB. He's the Vice President of Infosys Compass Private Limited, Singapore. Lakshmi possesses more than 2 decades of experience in the gamut of human resource, holding various positions in the past with companies like HCL, CSS Card, KLA, Chenkar, Alcatel kind of MNC companies. Starting with the management education in the Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta, he has served across the human resource specialties such as systems and processes, training and development, talent acquisition and management throughout his career. And he is also a certified PCMM, which is People Capability Maturity. It is an indeed pleasure for ICT Academy as well as All India Council for Technical Education and the National Project Implementation Unit to have Lakshmi Narayanan with us. Over to you, Lakshmi. We are eagerly waiting to listening to you.
Hey, thank you all. I hope all of you could hear me.
Yes, Lakshmi. Yeah, please carry on.
Thank you all for this honor of inviting me to this August session. And thanks for all the panelists, the officials of our great institutions like AICTE and TEQIP. It's a pleasure to interact with academics and institutions like you, where we need a symbiotic relationship between academy and industry. So when I got to know about this subject, I was talking to Raghav and others from ICT, how we should have more such sessions, because this is the need of the hour. India, all of you know, have a demographic advantage, but it comes with a shelf life. Maybe in 10 years, we will lose it. And this kind of an opportunity comes once in many thousands of years for a country, and civilizations have shown that whenever a country has smartly exploited its demographic advantage, it has become the world leader. Probably India was a world guru thousands of years ago, and we have gone down after that, and now probably we are presented with an opportunity with hundred thousands of youngsters educated. Nowhere in the world, no other country can compete. And for once, population has come to our advantage. But the question is how well we leverage our young talent to the benefit of our country and our industry. So having said that context, I would try to, our team members from ICT Academy was asking me whether there is a presentation. Actually, presentation is a little past in IT industry. It's already, people are tired of PowerPoints, but nevertheless, I put together something just as a talking point to guide my thoughts in this. I'm just trying to upload it, and then we'll start from there. I hope all of you can see my screen.
Yes, Lakshmi. Yes, we can see your presentation.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is took some liberty on the subject title itself. Instead of talking about career opportunities and recruitment, I just slightly changed it to expand the scope and call it "What is the future of work?" As you all know, future of work has been a point of discussion in all earlier sessions of World Economic Forum. It has been probably the key subject in the last couple of years, and it has been grappling with this evolving situation where they were talking about employability, how things are changing very fast, how digital technologies changing the way people work, and what are the new skills, or what are the new skills which are getting redundant, how is the industry going to adapt, how is academics going to adapt. All these subjects has been subject to a lot of huge debates in the last couple of years. All that what complicated is this COVID. COVID came and put everything upside down. All these changes were already in pipeline. COVID came and just complicated it 1,000 times more. That's it. Means what I wanted to say is the evolution of the way we will work, the skills we need, and the skills where people, employees or the talent pool need to adopt to be employable in future was already a subject of huge discussion in the last couple of years. What new or COVID created it? What COVID did? COVID forced us to do whatever we could have otherwise planned in 3 years to be done in 6 months. Whoever anticipated that 50% or 70% of your workforce will work from home? Anyway, you would all have known that many companies were already planning to adopt this hybrid work model over the next 5 years. Employees working from home, and the skills needed for that, and all that was already a part of the discussion. It's not new. What COVID cost is, it just put us a deadline, a terrible deadline like what we have in corporate life, to achieve whatever we want to achieve in 3 years to be achieved in 6 months. No options. So everybody, I think, admirably lived up to the challenge. Most of the companies have started working from home, get their employees to work from home, and still without much of impact on productivity, I would say. But like what some of our earlier panelists and delegates said, it has some impacts on our plans, right? So what I wanted to put as a subject of discussion today is I want to touch upon the 3 dimensions of the future of work, which will kind of address how the career opportunities will be in future, and how I will have a little closer focus on the IT and IT industry, because that is where I come from, but I know that there is a wide world of other industries, fundamental industries, where also there are huge impacts on employability. Okay. So when ICT Academy called me a couple of days ago, post-COVID, my first wish was, let us look at bright morning where there will be a post-COVID. With all this dragging on for 6 months, we are all anxiously waiting when one fine month we would all be able to say COVID is behind our back. But that doesn't seem to be. The truth is that doesn't seem to be. Unfortunately, this may drag on, and we don't know how it will be. There is so much of uncertainty. So let us look at how career opportunities and recruitment will trend in future. For that, I want to bring the attention of all the students onto 3 major dimensions of future of work. And I will also encourage, we have a short time and we won't be able to cover everything. I would encourage all of you, you're all digitally connected. Please going to our Google Guru and look at the enormous amount of material available on the future of work. But coming back to summarizing a few things. 1, work ecosystem. It's not going to be the same anymore. We all have come to that reality, right? There is not the traditional concept of going to an office where hundreds of people or thousands of people will sit together in cubicles and working is going to be a past. And it became this would have ideally happened in over 5 years, but the COVID forced us to do it in 6 months. And so there are going to be virtual companies. Virtual companies are going to be real. There are going to be companies which doesn't have an office, but will have a network of employees working and creating products and services. That's going to be real. We already see big companies. I read some research article very few days ago that 48 to 50% of the technology and allied services will work from home in a very short period of time. So if a company has to work like that, what are all some of the characteristics? And it is very important that future talents understand this, because they will have to adapt new work competencies, work skills, to adapt to this kind of a work environment. One is agility. I remember our Professor Dr. Antaryami Mishra said about it in the beginning. That's a key word. absolutely the key word. Agility is going to be the way by which companies which are going to survive will work. The quickly adapt and change the products and services to meet the customer is going to be the key. Let me give you two examples. One, we all know about. So I'll take this example from Singapore. Probably it happened in India also. In Singapore, you have a Grab similar to our Uber or Ola, and Singapore being a small country, and when this COVID hit hard, many of them went out of the business. The cab drivers went out of the business. Nobody was traveling anyway. So they quickly adapted and started using their Grab for delivering food, which was not their core business. And many of them, even with some protection, started using their cab services to shift patients to hospitals. We also know about how hotel industry quickly adapted to the situation by dedicating their hotels as COVID centers. These are all great examples of agility, right? And unless they had done this, they would not have survived, isn't it? They would have, the business would have affected. All the employees who are working in those industries would have got deeply affected. So while we say that all this happened great, you should also imagine how much their employees would have undergone retraining to adapt to this. They would have all undergone a lot of retraining to adapt to this kind of an agility, right? That's the first part. Second, digital transformation. Everything is digital. Every product and service, unless you have a digital presence, you are not going to reach the customer. Now, that is easier said than done. It is understood by everybody that we can, from our mobile, we can food, we can buy some products, services. We can go to the extent of even, the other day, it was, very interesting to see that the saloon services are also become online, right? At least in some parts of our city, at some of major cities, saloons are also online. I mean, you can get your saloon person coming over to the house to do it, right? So everything has become digital. Now, it's to create a digital infrastructure where you have a certain application on the cloud where you can display your services and customers across the world or across your geographical area can access to that cloud, access to that application, buy your services, pay for your services online. The amount of IT infrastructure that goes into this is humongous. And please understand that there are thousands of engineers who are creating this framework. And that's a lot of job. And we still have probably 50%, not even 50, I would say 40, 50% of our country without digital connectivity. Many of our products and services still don't have, they are not in the digital framework, right? So think about a country like India with such a billion population who needs products and services, and a lot of medium and small companies who are producing great products, great services, but they don't have the infrastructure ability to load their products on the cloud, create a payment gateway. We are going to need lakhs and lakhs of engineers to create this framework. So these are all, and this has to happen. There is no other option, right? I mean, the world has gone to that level where we are people who doesn't have a digital presence. Companies doesn't have a digital presence will not survive. And the virtual workforce, obviously, as I said earlier, the workforce is going to be virtual. So somebody is going to have those skills, and they are going to work. Neither the company nor the employee have seen each other, but the services are provided because the skills are there. So what is it coming to? It coming to each one of you are a company. Each one of you have a certain skill. You should have a certain skill if you have to survive, if you have to flourish. And if you have it, the career opportunities are humongous. we are not going to have enough number of people with those skills, at least in a short period. And you would have heard about the geopolitical changes with a lot of manufacturing companies planning to come into India. It is also going to open up a lot of opportunities for people in other engineering domains like mechanical, civil, architecture, everything. You know, that's good news for all the other engineering students of all other domains, but all of them have to have digital skills. So digital is no longer confined to IT or IT departments. It is a skill you have to acquire across. A civil engineer has to have a digital skill. To show, architectural engineer has to have a digital skill to show and display his design and sell, right? So these are the changes, and these are the skills which will be needed. Third main point in the work ecosystem is, till now, major companies like Infosys or any other company for that matter, we measured how did we earn our revenue. We build our people, we put our people on our engineers into the client space. We build our clients based on the number of hours, right? That's become irrelevant overnight because attendance has died. Timesheets are no longer, people are working from different locations, timesheets are no longer relevant. So suddenly it has changed to outcome measurement. Means if we are committed to deliver a particular product or service, it's that outcome of that quality and outcome of that product or service is going to govern how much we are going to earn. And who is going to do that? It is going to be done by engineers like you. So each one of you, as some of my earlier delegates said, have to have ownership, because it is not that you are all in a small enclosed environment in a company where there is a boss and he is going to call you every half an hour to check whether, or every day to check whether how you have progressed. No, sorry. You are all distributed across. You are going to be sitting in Qatar. Your manager is going to be sitting in Bangalore, and somebody is going to sit in Singapore or San Francisco. And he would expect that you have a certain area of work based on your skill, and we are going to deliver it. You are going to govern yourself. And your time zones are different, right? So there is a clear going to deliver this work by this time at this quality, and the ownership is upon you as engineers to deliver it. That puts on you a great deal of ownership and responsibility to deliver. If you don't do it, you go out of the job. That's the reality, right? So that's about the work ecosystem. I'm going to touch upon two other things which is closely related. Future of works and careers. Some other dimensions. Premium is going to be on skills. If you have a Hadoop skill, if you have a certain skill which will help you to create a cloud environment, that will make you employable. So let us not think much about what are the opportunities. Opportunities are going to keep on coming. It will be different. That's all. It's not going to be the same. Opportunities are going to come. It is going to be different. Whether you are going to be employable is the point you got to focus on. Whether you are going to be, you have the right kind of skills to make yourself employable is what you have got to focus yourself on. So acquire the skills, like Daniel said earlier. Be very conscious about your industry. What are the happenings in your industry? What are the key skills your industry is wanting, and whether you are acquiring those skills. Continuous learning is a reality. There is nothing like, okay, I have finished my engineering. I think I have acquired all the skills. Now I'll go work for next 20 years. Impossible. In 5 years, you will become redundant. Every one of us are becoming redundant every 5 years, unless we acquire new skills. Right? Third main point, transactional administrative skills, like writing a 1,000 code software, or testing a software, or doing some level 1, level 2 tech support. Please note that all this will die in a few years. All this will get automated. Robots will do it. What is needed, and please check on the great findings of the future of work from World Economic Forum. Human-centric skills are going to be the key. What are human-centric skills? Your ability to take initiative, your ability to take ownership, your ability to think out of box, your ability to do judgments, proper judgments, your ability to empathize what the client needs. He may have requested a service, but you can go back and tell to your client, hey, you can do this better, and you are going to save cost and time. Why are you going to doing like this? If you have that kind of ingenuity to go and tell to your client that you can do this particular work in this way and earn, do it better at a lesser cost than what you have given me as a statement of work. If you can tell that, that is going to be valued. And many companies, big companies, transactional jobs will die. As engineers, you need to see how you add value, how you bring value to your customer, and how you are going to add value to your company, right? So you got to think through your area and see what are all the skills you need to acquire. Employability is no longer, this is an important point, the next 2 points, employability is no longer a static phenomenon. It's not that after you get your engineering degree at 95%, you are employable for your life. No. Employability has changed. There is a paradigm shift already. Employability is a capability or a competence exhibited at different points of time of your job. You may be employable for the first 5 years. After 5 years, you will become unemployable because you don't have the skills for the next level. Unless you the skills of the next level, you will
11 class is interesting.
So that is the way things are moving. So continuous learning, again going back to the point, something is wrong. Yes, so much. Are we waiting for some scientist or lab from a Western country which doesn't have sun for 15 hours a day to come and help us with technology? The solar power, leveraging the solar power for our energy needs is a dying need. It's a very important need. It's a renewable source of energy. If somebody could come up with a revolutionary idea, it would be sold like hotcakes, right? But it's very costly now. How can, as young engineers, put your brains together and think, how can you make it cheaper, available for common masses? How can we make sure that 70-80% of our energy is met by solar in the next 30 years? It may open up a lot of allied industries. It will open up a lot of jobs. So these are areas you need to think, and these are whatever the skills needed for these areas is what you got to equip yourself. And probably nobody got a holiday like this, a forced holiday. I would not say a holiday, but at least like you sit and acquire skills, right? So these are things I would request young engineers like all of you to focus on. Don't worry about how many companies are stopping recruitment or starting recruitment or delaying recruitment. That is short phase. Whether you have the skills in you, whether you are employable is what I would request that you focus on, right? I just end with 2 quick slides. These are statistics. See how from 2014 to 2017 to 2025, the entire businesses, digital businesses are going to increase, right? It's going to be from 87, it's galloping up to 350 million, and it is even more now. This is a little dated statistics actually. This is pre-COVID, to be honest. Post-COVID, this would have become double. And this is just a quick slide specific to IT and Infosys, and this is applicable to other IT companies as well. I just picked up a few areas in the technology space which are going to open up thousands of jobs. And I told you earlier about the digital infrastructure. All the roles here are going to be the components of a digital infrastructure. And as I said earlier, as engineers, while it is good to acquire these skills along with engineering, please note that skills have become important than qualification. Industries will not worry about taking a non-engineering graduate if he is an expert in blockchain or cloud. Please note that. That are not our old concepts. Skill is important. Okay, so this is quickly what I wanted to touch upon and probably pause here.
Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation and the inputs to the students, Mr. Lakshmi, and thanks for joining us. It was really a fantastic session. I hope students must have got lot of inputs on the technological skill sets which are to be acquired by them to overcome this COVID situation. Thank you so much. If you can stop this screen sharing, that will enable us to see the entire screen.
Give me a minute.
Yeah. Let's start with Ms. Jasrida there. She is the head of brand and marketing and CSR for Healthcare. Ms. Jasrida there started her journey as a direct marketing executive in P&G, and she has also joined working in organizations such as Radisson Group, the Oberoi, Max Healthcare, before joining Fortis Healthcare. It is more than a decade for her adding to her experience. She had managed teams dynamically and collaborating with cross-functional resources. She is also a nominee of Popular Digital Marketer in IAMAI and Money Control's Digital Marketer Award 2018. Jasrida has been cited as one of the 6 future game changers of healthcare by HealthBiz India magazine in the year 2014. Her specialties includes brand building, crisis containment and communication, corporate communications, and public relations. It is a pleasure to have Jasrida with us. On behalf of All India Council for Technical Education, NPIU, and College of Engineering and Technology, Bhubaneswar, and ICTE Academy, we welcome you, Jasrida. And over to you. We are eagerly awaiting listening to you. You can add much more value to the students' career by giving your sharing your experience and giving your thoughts, Jasrida. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me. And, when you keep interacting with students, that ensures 2 things. It gives you this sense of being young, connected to the youth, and also it ensures that you brush up on your skills, because I totally believe in that adage which says that child is the father of man. The next generation is smarter. So it ensures that you brush up on your skills before you sort of, address a congregation of students. So thank you very much for the invitation to you and to ICTE Academy. Without much ado, what I will do is I will just share my screen and go on to the presentation that I've put together. And in between the presentation, I'll stop the presentation and maybe a little bit of a FaceTime. I thought that this will take about 20 minutes, 20 to 25 odd minutes, and then I'll be happy to take any questions that come through the chat, right? So with that, I'll just share my screen. Give me a quick second. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen, Justin. Yes.
All right, great. So I'll be talking about career opportunities in marketing, in the field of marketing in the post-COVID world. Recruitment trends, etc., is something for HR people to talk about. And as you know, that I'm a brand marketer, so I would not be talking about that. This is how I've structured my presentation for the next 20 to 25 minutes. I'm just going to touch upon a little bit about management and engineering as a combination. I'll just touch upon the marketing sub-functions that are there, for the students to know that what are the sub-functions that they could perhaps look at specializing in. Very briefly talk about what healthcare marketing has done during COVID, because healthcare has been at the if you put together like a pyramid, then it has been right at the top of it, trying to handle the pandemic as essential healthcare workers. What are the key focus areas that students need to work on if they are thinking of a career in marketing? What are the careers in healthcare? Because currently I am in healthcare and I've spent a good deal of my marketing career in healthcare. And then finally, I think we'll end with what does marketing post-COVID look like, and therefore what are the soft skills and what are the hard skills that students need to keep in mind. So this is how I've structured the presentation. With that, sorry, before we go to the marketing sub-functions, all I have to say about management and engineering is that there are enough and more studies that you'll find online if you search for it, students, which will tell you that management and engineering is indeed a winning combination, right? You go to top business schools of the country, and you would see that 60 to 70% of management enrollees who enroll in for a management postgraduate program, an MBA or a PGDBM, are 60 to 70% of them have engineering as a background, BTech, BE as a background. So technology or engineering and management, has so far been proven to be a good combination to go forward. And the reason for that is that while engineering prepares you very well, for the technical field that you're in, but if any of you aspire to be there in the C-suite, as we call it, in the CXO suite, then there are things like leadership, finance, strategy, marketing, human resources, which are essential skills beyond the technical and the functional skill, which obviously your engineering degree prepares you for. And those are provided by a management course. So a whole lot of you think of, right now, maybe at this time or later, supplementing it in your information with a management degree, post-graduation or a course, a one-year course, diploma, whatever that you deem correct for you. And thereafter, there is no limit, to what you can support. And the last bit is on this part is that with marketing currently during COVID and likely in the post-COVID world as well, to a very large extent becoming digital, the whole area within digital marketing of product marketing, of product innovations in marketing, of the various sub-streams of digital marketing assume a lot of importance, and engineers and technical people with a technical background are already predisposed towards that sort of thinking and that sort of approach and application. So therefore, I wanted to start out by saying that there is evidence enough to show that this is, this is the way forward for you if you aspire to be there in the C-suite and go to the, be part of the CXO brigade. With that, let me quickly go to the marketing sub-functions that are there. One of the first, actually brand management is not a sub-function of marketing because brand, brand is here and marketing is here. But brand management, the people who come from a marketing stream do brand management, and that's why I've put it here. Brand management is everything to do with the brand study, the brand health, brand hygiene. How is your brand doing on awareness parameters? Is your brand in the consideration set or not? What are the positive or negative feedbacks with your brand? How can you, dispose your target audience more positively towards your brand? That whole study of tracking the brand health and hygiene parameters and how your brand is doing vis-a-vis competition and vis-a-vis its own journey that you've plotted is brand management. And that is like I said, that is the overarching, branch under which everything else comes in. Then you have what we call marketing communications or the MarCom stack. And MarCom stack is everything to do, all the collaterals that you see, everything that is to do with the advertising side, you could say, the advertising and the communication collateral side, which, supports a marketing objective. So whether it is your collaterals that you put together or the ads that you put together or the brochures that you put together or the content that goes on the website, etc. So all of that comes under marketing communications or MarCom. Then you have public relations and corporate communications or COPCOM as it is called in short. And public relations and corporate communications is obviously, so if MarCom is more advertising driven, then corporate communications is obviously more media relations and public relations driven. And within that, within each one of these branches, also there are sub-branches, but for today, we won't go into it. So for instance, under COPCOM, you have media relations, you also have government relations, and you have, public bodies, but we will not go into that. So the branch that deals with the external, parties, which deals with the media, and creates an appreciation for the brand that they represent is corporate communications and public relations. Then you have the product marketing, which I was talking about. So, the development of your apps, development of your backend, that delivers, how will APIs, etc., integrate, and how will they communicate what, like for instance in Fortis, how the appointment booking systems should be, the whole information systems that you have, whether you have a management information system or you have a hospital information system, etc. Each one of these things, how, so that's the whole product marketing side to it, and that is obviously a technical skill. And this is what I was talking about in the beginning, that this is some areas where I already have a skill set, and it's kind of easier, it's more native to the kind of skill sets that, engineers and technical people already have. Then you have a sub-branch of performance marketing, and performance marketing is the whole demand generation space, all your lead generation, like you must be seeing the digital marketers who set up Google campaigns or Facebook campaigns, do search ads, text ads, display ads, and at the end of the day say, here, this much traffic I got you, these many impressions, these many leads, here's the click-through rate, this is the cost per, cost per acquisition or cost per click, etc., etc. So the whole science of performance marketing, which is to say that, we put in a rupee, what's the ROI coming out of it, and what is the demand generation that you created out of it, is performance marketing. That is also a specialized skill set. Then you have social media and online reputation management, or ORM as it is called, and it is interlinked, although these are two different things. So in a way, online reputation management is also linked to corporate communications and PR, because both are about image management, reputation building, reputation management. But it is also a sub-function. It is also connected to social media, because online reputation management happens on mostly social media platforms. Okay, mostly community, open community or closed community-based platforms, and it's digital. So therefore, social media, agency or a social marketer, a social media marketer, be looking at setting up a Twitter, and what is the community engagement that they're doing with fans and followers on the Instagram page and on the Facebook page. But at the same time, there is a specific skill set which is there, that when there is a customer who's irate and who's left some negative feedback, and let's say on any one of your pages, how do you respond? What are the turnaround times, etc., etc., and so on and so forth. So that's how social media, which is about engagement and community building, community engagement, and online reputation management, which is obviously about having a clean reputation and a clean image on the digital, is in a way interlinked, although specific skill sets. So that's that area. And then finally, we have customer relationship management, or CRM. I'm sure each one of you, when you shop for a brand, whether you buy an Alan Solly shirt or you buy, something from, let's say, Body Shop, they ask you to put in your birthday or your anniversary or, some such information, and the personal information that you, volunteer with them. They would send you a birthday greeting, or they would send you a discount, or they would remind you, like Domino's would remind you that you ordered this pizza last Wednesday. Would you crave another pizza? Here, there's a 5% coupon or something like that. This entire art of engaging with your the already engaged set of customers, or the already enrolled set of customers, as a retention strategy, is customer relationship management. So while performance marketing and all of these things are more focused towards acquisition, because marketing is supposed to have acquisition and retention as two functions that it delivers, then customer relationship management is more focused towards retention than acquisition. All right. So these are the sub-functions of marketing. I hope these are clear. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to take on those. And like I said, we'll very quickly talk about how healthcare marketing has held fort during this pandemic. I think the first thing is that empathy was very, very important. And while we talk about a whole lot of hard skills, I think speaking about soft skills is also very important, because if you cannot have empathy for people who are dealing with their life and are entrusting their limb to you, then it's slightly difficult to sort of be in healthcare, whichever field you are in. It's not about that you have to be a doctor and a nurse and then only you should have empathy. But even as a communicator, there needs to be empathy in your communication. Even when somebody is irate and maybe the choice of words that they use is very wrong on Twitter, and you get enraged, but you need to have empathy. Again, even if you respond to that as a social media marketer or as a digital marketer, to say, the consumer is not in a rational state of mind at this point in time, and nobody would be. So I think, first of all, empathy is very important, which I think all across all healthcare providers sort of displayed at this point in time. Mental health outreach was also very important during the pandemic and is continuing to be so, because whether we look at the Spanish flu, any other pandemic, we just had pandemics of this scale, only two, in the one in the last century and one now, but even smaller ones. Then, one is the physical, issues with the disease that we very well know of. But the other is the mental health problem. And the mental health problem that happens is not only to the affected population, but to the COVID affected population, but to others as well. So there is anxiety which is there with school students, or even college students, as to when will normal classes resume. There's anxiety with sports people. When will they ever get back to their training? There's anxiety with housewives. There's anxiety with people who are working from home, and trying to handle everything. So the mental health outreach that we did by putting together a helpline in 15 Indian languages where people could call any point of the day. And we receive about 200 calls per day, and this is a pro bono service that we're doing as a service to the nation, and a whole lot of webinars that we are doing, for corporates, for students, school students, for whoever, different groups, to allay the stress, etc., is something that we are doing. The third is virtual consults platform, because as you know, that physical outreach was not important, it was not possible. So therefore, it was important that we came up with a virtual consults platform, which mitigated the risk of infection not only to the patients but also to our healthcare workers. And we had about 48 hours to put this together. So we went ahead and put together this platform, which was just an extension of our internal collaboration tool, so that there was not too much. Already the world was disrupted. Therefore, it's not too much of a disruption for our people internally and for the consumer. Healthcare advisories to match the pace of ever-changing guidelines. So sometimes there is formaldehyde infection, sometimes not. Sometimes they're saying HCQS is good, sometimes not. Sometimes N95 mask is good and sometimes not, a cloth mask. So with this ever-changing guidelines which are coming from the WHO, Center for Disease Control, or our Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, putting it out in different languages, in different formats, video, downloadable PDFs, etc., to people. Then omni-channel presence, and by omni-channel presence, I mean more digital and social media, that all, forms to be available. And definitely amping up on our online reputation management and our public relations. This is how most of healthcare, and what is being no different, has sort of dealt with the pandemic. What are the key focus areas that students should keep in mind for a career in marketing? Okay, so on the left I have put together the things that you should be thinking of, and then on the right there is one sec. Yes, and on the right you see this screenshot that I've put together. These are from recruitment sites, etc., from some studies that have been put together. The first, which is continuing to be important over the years and even now during COVID, post-COVID, is your communication skills. See, as marketers, as communicators, you are expected that when there is a whole lot of complicated material, you break it down in a simpler fashion, in a fashion to which your target audience, is more amenable to understand and put it out. So when people are, looking for marketers, hiring them, written communication skills trumps verbal communication skills, which doesn't mean that verbal communication skills are not important, but says that your written communication skills are far more important. What can you do it? What can you do? Read as much as you can, and then try and write. Whether you write blog post, whether you write for your college magazine, it doesn't matter. But please inculcate this habit of reading more and then writing. Okay, and this will hone your communication skills. So that's point number one. Second, specialize. We heard Lakshmi also talk about it. The age of generalists is kind of over, which doesn't mean that there are not going to be any jobs for generalists. Yes, there will be some jobs for generalists, but more than that, there are specialized skills which are in demand. So your skill specialization is going to be very, very important. Just look at your right hand side, upper quadrant of what we put together earlier. Website development, SEO, SEM. These were, so there is hiring that's on par, that's happening, and then there is hiring above average, which is happening for certain areas. So of course, with the proliferation in social media platforms, social media marketing and advertising is higher up today than email marketing or your search engine optimization. This was not the case, let's say 7 to 8 years back. But this is the case which has happened right now, in the last few years, and is continue to do so. Content strategy. Content is the king. Whatever you do, what you do with content and on which platform you put it is another matter. Content marketing, and content within that is a field which is of content curation, content creation, content repurposing, and then content marketing. Okay, so therefore this is again become more higher up, and then all forms of digital advertising, and within that also there are different forms of digital advertising that you have. There is native advertising, there is programmatic advertising, there is what have you, whole lot of. But the whole field of digital advertising is where there is hiring happening, which is above average, right? So you need to constantly keep looking at the skills within the field of digital marketing which are in demand, and definitely work on content, definitely work on social media marketing and on digital advertising, because these are areas where there's hiring happening above par, above average, right? Expand your skills portfolio. This is the point that I was making, and the second point and the third point are related. How will you specialize? You can't specialize if you just start out in one thing, okay? You will specialize if you at least dabble in 2, 3, 4, because you dabble in 2, 3, 4, and then maybe one of them will sort of stick with you, and you'll be able to get mastery of it. And there are a lot of things which are interrelated as well. So for instance, search engine marketing or social media marketing and content are interrelated. So you can't say that I've done content but not social media, right? I think. So I think I'm hearing from a lot of people. So there's a reverse feed that I'm hearing. So maybe some people need to mute.
Sir, the placement CET, can you mute? The placement CET B host to be muted, sir.
Yes, we are.
Yes, sir, just checking, sir.
The skill set I have been looking lately during these times is also kind of relate to that. So this would be kind of all my experiences so far. So if you talk about what kind of trends are happening given the current situation, I think number one is increase in the remote working. In a recent Gartner poll showed that 48% of the employees will likely work remotely at least part of the time, even during the COVID or maybe after that. This situation will continue for at least next 6 months, maybe 1 year. As organizations shift to more remote working operations and explore critical competencies of employees, they will need to collaborate digitally. So collaborating digitally, meeting digitally, these kind of things are happening. Each and everybody is kind of coming to the Microsoft Teams or WebEx or other remote, communication platforms to conduct a lot of operations. So that is one trend which is happening. Expansion of data collection. In one Gartner report that showed that at least 60% of the employers are using technologies to more frequently monitor the data related to their employees. This could be in many form factor. It could be the attendance, remote monitoring. It could be their health and safety. It could be when the offices are getting opened up, whether they are maintaining social distancing, things like that. So expansion of data collection. Another thing which is happening is that the contingent worker expansion in the economic uncertainty like this. It has caused many workers to lose their jobs or expose others, for the first time in the non-standard work model. So many organizations are responding to look for, contingent workforce. So that means the people who have multiple skills, people who can do multiple jobs, will be very important in this case. Another trend which is happening is the separation of roles. So what I mean by that is focus less on roles rather than skills needed to drive organizations' competitive advantage. And this will also draw the resilience of the organization because as the things are opening up, and a lot of organizations are looking for how to come back and kind of reach to the similar level of revenues prior to COVID. And some cases, me coming from consumer electronics kind of business, we are seeing quite a significant increase in the last couple of months. And employees will have to have developed those critical skills that could actually open up for multiple opportunities within the organization or even outside. And this could be, even for their own career development. Another trend which is happening is the emergence of new top tier employees. So organizations were, earlier facing increased employee demand for transparency. Now, employees' perspective, candidates will judge organizations by the way, they treated employees during the pandemic. Whether, there was a human touch. So, a lot of things will happen in that direction. So, progressive organizations will communicate openly and frequently to show how they are supporting employees despite the implementation of cost saving measures. That is also happening. Transition, another trend which is happening is transition from designing for the efficiency to designing for the resilience. So a lot of organizations are looking at becoming more resilient organizations where they are able to respond to quickly some of the environmental changes that are. So to build a more responsive organization, design roles and structures around outcome to increase the agility and flexibility and formalize how processes can flex will be very, very important. So these are some of the trends which are happening, and I think some of earlier speakers also touched upon in terms of skills. So now I will move on to the second part of my speech. So because of all this, what we are seeing is there is a few things which are happening. Agility. Agility will be the single biggest reason why some organizations will tide over this crisis. And what I mean by that is that not only it will require the agile workforce, but agility in the thought process also, how we quickly respond. How do we take small steps to show certain developments before even going, big bang kind of development. Other thing which is happening is the rapid pace with which digital transformation is happening. So prior to COVID, it was kind of, it was happening, but at a little slower pace. If you see that today, post-COVID kind of, environment, digital transformation should be aimed at creating holistic capabilities to leverage the possibilities and opportunities that new digital age technology will present. So this will enable to serve customers better and evolve the business as we are kind of sort of returning back to the business. It will not about technology adoption, but evolution of the business model, business processes, including the kind of product we're developing. And this will also explore the canvas of opportunities presented by various technologies that some of distinguished speakers talked about, like cloud, big data, analytics, AI, IoT. So these are the basically foundational technical skills that each and every one of the students you all will have to have. And other emerging reality is that the shaping the new wave of customer behavior. So how we kind of respond to that. So I will touch upon that and some of the new technology emerging trends that I will touch upon. So keeping all these different kind of trends which are happening, which our organizations are seeing, let me touch upon what kind of skills or what kind of talent organizations are looking for or will get into it highly. So if you look at, as I said, a lot of data is getting captured for various reasons because as more and more digital transformation is happening, and more and more people are doing more businesses digitally, a lot more data will get collected. So with that said, skills like data scientists, skills like data analytics, skills like machine learning, artificial intelligence, deep learning will become very hot in the current situation. So with the COVID pandemic, the internet is something now we depend on, whether it is for entertainment, whether it is for education, whether it is for work, whether it is for doctor consultation. So as more and more employees are working from home, there has been an increase in the data users across the world. So with this kind of growth, you can imagine the tech industry will witness a rise in the number of tech opportunities for the network engineers, tech engineers, data scientists, data analytics. So this would be one big mega trend. So my advice to all the students would be that this is one area you all could focus on. The second would be cybersecurity. Today, as the world struggles with the unprecedented pandemic, hackers are attacking with various viruses in the form of ransomware, data stealers, malware, and there are many more attacks in the last 3 months than what it saw earlier. So the remote setting has invited a lot of cybersecurity threats. So this will increase the demand of cybersecurity experts or cybersecurity analysts or security officers. So this is another hot technology or hot area that will kind of grow pretty fast. Other thing would be, let me talk about some of the emerging technologies which are also coming up into the current situation. The big technology which is coming up is the tele-X. Why is it tele-X? Because it is telemedicine, tele-education, tele-conferencing, whatever you call it. So these kind of trends are coming. So this technology will become the core of it, and now it relates to healthcare. It relates to tech. So if you have knowledge about these areas, that would be very good. The second biggest thing is coming up is contactless forms. And what I mean by that is, given that we have to maintain social distancing, we have to maintain security and safety of our workers, our employees, our family members. Everything has to be contactless, whether it is contactless delivery, whether it is contactless payment, whether it is contactless time and attendance. This kind of things will come. So any solution, any skills or any thought process or any innovation happens around contactless would be very meaningful in the current times. The third emerging trend which is happening is, in terms of technologies, intelligent workplace. So what I mean by that is, under the intelligent workplace, there are a number of sub-activities that are happening. One is digital collaboration. So today also we are doing this, seminar or workshop over digitally. Right? Workplace automation will become, key activity. Smart facility, smart factories, digital workplace training, all the education training will happen digitally. So anything to do with digital will become the key in the current times. The other thing is, how do we do the digital manufacturing, digital field services, and this is where the technologies like augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality will play a major role. So if you have skills in those areas or want to develop skills, those will be very meaningful in the current times. The other thing which is happening is the next gen governance. What I mean by that is, of course, we heard a lot about the smart city projects and things like that. Now it is the next step. People are considering how do we have pandemic-proof cities? How do we reimagine the urbanization? How do we have private and public sector collaboration for self-resilience? So some of these things will also become very eminent or prominent in the current times. So in order to kind of keep yourself relevant, you'll have to be very, very aware about what are the key technologies that will evolve post pandemic. So with that said, there are other things which are also very important apart from the cloud and IoT and artificial intelligence. Some of the technologies that I just talked about will become very relevant in the current times. The other thing which is also equally important is, and which we as a organization always look into the potential candidates, is the soft skills. And soft skills are definitely the need of the hour. So employability of fresh graduates has become the need of the hour for every institute, whether it is business school, whether it is engineering college, across the globe. And they are really, really asserting the importance of soft skills like communication, leadership, creativity, and critical thinking, empathy, adaptability, time management. So all these will become extremely crucial for students to get a job, and not only get a job but also stay relevant in the job. So keep yourself upgrading with the newer skills, keep adopting to the newer technologies will continue to make you relevant in the organization or even from an employability point. So such are the candidates which will be highly preferred by the employers. The other thing which will also happen is the flexible candidates will be preferred. Today, it is no longer a 9 to 5 job. It is a past now. So work is becoming more about flexibility now. It is all about being available and staying connected to ensure the given task that you are assigned to is completed within the stipulated time. It is the bringing about significant change in the way people collaborate or way people get work done. So from a Panasonic point of view, I can give some of the examples from India Innovation Center that we never tell people that uh, you have to do this job by this. We say that this job will take 10 hours. Okay, that means maybe we can say 1.5 days. Now you figure it out. You work from morning 8 to few hours, then take a rest and do some family chores and things like that, and then finish it. Or you start in the night and then finish it off. It's up to you. You have the flexibility, but by end of this time, this has to be delivered. So that would become more meaningful. So as I said, flexible candidates will be preferred. So this will become very, very significant trend, and it will also draw a lot of significant changes in the way organizations look at the people or even people look at jobs. So people will have to understand sooner or later that in the light of current situation, remote working is going to stay here for much longer. So hiring trend will continue to go virtual in the coming past. Entire hiring process has gone virtual. People are onboarding employees. People are interviewing potential employees over digital platforms. People are onboarding employees over digital platforms. So this is continue to be like this. Apart from that, I think digital marketing will continue to grow further, and this will lead to rise in the digital marketing. While certain players in the print had shut down, people were dependent more on like they were looking for cooking or exercising or looking from home. So digital marketing is going to help cut down the marketing spend. That's what each and every organization has realized. And they have also realized that through digital marketing channels, they can also be still stay relevant while some of the print media are still shut. So I think that is what I would kind of say that keep yourself upgraded all the time, keep learning about newer skills, focus on some of the technologies which are right now staying, and also focus on some of the future trends that I talked about. And wish you all the very best. And thank you so much. That's the end of my.
Thank you so much, Manish Mishra, for giving us a lot of inputs about the newer technologies as well as introducing us to fewer topics like intelligent workplace as well as next gen governance kind of topics. But I hope students must have got a lot of inputs on the new technologies which they should improve their capabilities so that they will be able to fetch a job in the job market. Thanks once again for joining us, Manish Mishra. Let us not take more time to invite Professor Rajiv Kumar, the Member Secretary of All India Council for Technical Education. To introduce him, Professor Rajiv Kumar did his ME Computer Technology and Application from Delhi College of Engineering, Delhi, and PhD from IIT Delhi. After completing PhD, he has joined with Crest University, DCR University of Science and Technology, Haryana in the year 1990. His areas of research interest are mathematical computing, software engineering, and image processing. He has published numerous research papers in national and international journals and also presented papers in India and abroad. He has visited several universities in the US, Canada, China, and Malaysia. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. We are eagerly waiting to listening to you, sir.
Thank you,
Over to
Raghav.
Dr. Rajan Kumar, sir.
Thank you, Raghav Srinivasan, for giving my introduction. First of all, I congratulate College of Engineering, Bhubaneswar for conducting this impact workshop. And impact means internship, mobilization, and promotion through academic corporate tie-up. This is the full meaning of impact. So, my colleagues from industry, Ms. Dheer, Mr. Jacob, Lakshmi Narayanji, and Mr. Mishra. I heard you and you gave beautiful view of the future technology as far as industry perspective is concerned. Now, one of the panelists was discussing about the future of the industry. What type of the future will be there as far as industry is concerned. Now, same type of thing is there in academic arena also. So what we thought that we will be able to do all such communication, information technology type of thing, e-teaching, e-learning, that what we were expecting that will happen in 5 years. I think this pandemic will not take in 1 month. Our all teachers, they converted from the traditional mode of teaching to the this e-teaching also. They selected some of the available platform. They were not having any formal training for using such platforms. They have adopted, not only adopted, now they are familiar and they are experts in using also these platforms. So to all my teachers, teaching community institutions for adopting these platforms in no time. And the same is the situation in industry as discussed by one of the panelists. Now, we came to know many things about the industry requirement and technologies being used and the future technologies as far as industry is concerned. Now we realize this thing because we keep on reading so many news in the newspaper that our engineers, they are not employable, 95% engineers, they are not employable. So all such type of news, they are coming up in the newspapers 3 years back. Now today, now we cannot say that they are not coming out, but not 95% they are saying. So immediately what we did, we prepared a quality agenda of the technical education in the nation. And prospective plan was an important point in that quality agenda. So I will take one by one. And this prospective plan was prepared by none other. There was no academician in that prospective plan. That was prepared by the industry people only. Say the NASCOM, CII, FICCI. You take any industrial body, all these bodies, they were there, and they prepared a prospective plan of the technical education in the country. And the recommendations of the prospective plan was that we should have courses on blockchain, AI, IoT, robotics, data sciences, machine learning, 3D printing, quantum computing, cyber security, augmented reality, virtual reality. They identified these 9 thrust areas. Now, they also made one recommendation that AICTE should not start any new program in the traditional areas also. So we immediately accepted the recommendation of our committee, and we introduced and we have decided that we will not start any new program in the traditional areas. We will start the programs only in these identified trust areas, and that has been implemented from this year. Now, making policy, implementing that is a very simple task. Then we got the report and we have accepted the report and we have implemented that report. But in ground, who will teach these subjects? Our teachers are not trained. They have done their degrees, say 15 years back, 20 years back. So they are not aware of all these technology. So we have to train our teacher. We immediately start with with the help of our industry, started this program, and we are conducting workshops, 5 days program, faculty development programs in all these 9 thrust areas. And during this pandemic, we conducted 100 programs, around 100 programs in this thrust area. And up to December, we have planned, and the calendar is out now, we have planned 500 more faculty development programs in thrust areas. So we have taken this as a mandate and we are training the teachers, and the training is not like that. Industry is part in each and every training program. So sessions are taken to give the industry perspective in each and every faculty development program. Faculty perspective is very, very important, and that is being incorporated. And for that, we thank our faculty, industry partners, industry people, that they are coming forward and they are participating in such programs. And now you can understand, not only the teachers, now the people from the industry, they are requesting us, please allow us to attend this program. We are getting requests from the foreign countries also, please, whether we can attend this program or not. We are getting, although these programs are meant for the faculty members, we are getting the request from the PG students that please also allow to attend this program, and we are allowing them. We thought if these programs will not be sufficient, then we will increase number of programs, because industry is with us and they are coming forward, and we are conducting such programs. And we have created Atal Academy, AICTE Training and Learning Academy, for conducting such programs. So these great initiatives we have also taken. Another important recommendation was the curriculum revision of the technical education. Previously, what was happening, there were around 200 credits in 4 years program. Now we revised the curriculum, and the curriculum was revised with the best academic as well as industry experts, with keeping in mind the industry 4.0 requirement. And the important thing is that the credits has been reduced in 4-year programs. Now it is 160 credits, not more than 160 credits. And this has been done just to give a free space so that students can can think out of box, and they can inculcate a habit of critical thinking. So all such things reduce number of credits. And we make internship. Our deputy director Neetu was saying that internship is mandatory. We have a manual. She also told how many hours are required to complete the internship. Now the internship is mandatory. Making internship mandatory is again a very simple thing. You come out with a notification and the internship is mandatory then for the. Now this important task was how to provide internship for all the students entering in the technical education. That was really a very, very challenging task, and our officers in AICTE, that they took this challenging task head on, and they are working day and night to interact with the industry. And when we went to the industry, we told them these are the kids, not only the kids of, these are the kids, and you have to do the service of the nation, for our nation, for our kids. You have to come forward. And believe me, no industry said that we have some reservation. They came forward and they have started providing internship to our students. They have launched a portal, Tulip, with the name of the Tulip. Not only industries putting their internship on this portal, but the government organization, they are also coming forward and they are posting their internship on that portal. We have signed an MOU, as Neetu was telling, with the National Highway Authority of India. Now talks are going on with railway and many more government organizations and industries, and they are ready to provide internship to our students. Now, if railway comes out, that we can understand the number of internship because it's a large organization, lot of work is going on, practical hand is required, and then we are hoping that many more internships are going to be created in time to come. There is another important feature of that portal is that government during the last budget speech announced internship for the graduates, those who have already completed their graduation, whether they are engineering graduates or graduates in other disciplines also. So they all are eligible, and we are also providing this internship after graduation to our students, to our graduates through this portal. And this internship is being provided in all the local bodies, smart cities, and this is a great initiative that Ministry of Urban Affairs has taken in collaboration with the AICTE. So these are the another initiative. Now, we designed to make this internship and to aware our providing educational solutions to our students. And but the problem is that these all solutions they have some fees. Their fees is associated with all these solutions provided by edtech companies. Now we came out with a novel idea. We invited expression of interest from the edtech companies, those who are able to provide personalized adaptive learning. If they have this type of concept AI based, then we invited expression of interest, and we have selected, last year we have selected around 40-45 products. Now this year we have also invited, and we are evaluating the proposals presently. And what is the important thing in this NEET initiative is that whenever 4 students are registering for the paid product of any edtech companies, 1 seat is generated free of cost. AICTE that we in turn we are providing to the needy students, underprivileged students from the remote areas. So this has got a social angle also. So this initiative we have taken, and it is working very well. And during this pandemic, most of these edtech companies, they provided their products free of cost to all our students. So that we are thankful all our edtech companies for showing this gesture to our students. Now, another 2 initiative, I will take 2 more minutes and then I will finish, that we started because in all education, whether it is school education or you can say in all other areas, formal teaching is required for a person to enter in teaching. Formal training is required. Is it only in the higher education there is no formal training to the teacher? Today you complete your postgraduate and tomorrow you can enter in the teaching. So we realize that there are so many things apart from the knowledge which are the major requirement for a teacher. Say it is ethics, how to set the question paper, how to evaluate, how to prepare the lecture plan. So there are how to use the technologies. There are so many things associated apart from the knowledge for a teacher. So we prepared comprehensive teacher training policy, and this policy contains 8 modules. And when a teacher is entering in the technical education system, he has to clear out all these 8 modules. There are 3 parts of this training. Second part is he has to complete mentorship, teaching under mentorship of a subject teacher. And the third component, and very important component is 1 month internship in some industry. Now, after completion of these 3 components, a teacher is given a teacher's certificate. Now, 8 modules, providing all these 8 modules in offline mode, it is not a simple thing. And we don't have the capacity to conduct all these 8 modules in offline mode. So what we did, we took the help of all 4 knitters. There are 4 knitters. We took their help and we prepared MOOCs courses on these 8 modules. Now these 8 modules, they are available on our SWAYAM platform, and students are registering. And last year, I think 40,000 teachers, they have registered for these courses. And after completion of these courses, NTA, National Testing Agency, is conducting their examination. And after completion of all these three component, a joint certificate by AICTE and NITER is provided to our faculty members. Now they are the certified teachers. And those who are in service, those who are already in the teaching profession, and they are for more than 5 years, we have different type of mechanism, we have different type of modules for all such teachers, and they help them in getting their promotion. So we have linked all these modules with their promotion, those teachers who are already in job. Now we have also released an examination reform policy in which there is very limited portion is given to the rote learning. The rest of the, and this policy is based on the Bloom's taxonomy. So I will request all the participants just go through this examination reform policy, and it helps in accreditation also into our educational institution. So there are so many schemes for students, for faculty, whether they are funding schemes or scholarship schemes or modernization of laboratory schemes. So we have so many things for all of our stakeholders. I'm happy to say that industry is participating in our programs. They are coming forward. They are helping us. With all these words, I extend my hearty thanks to ICT Academy and the College of Engineering and Technology, Bhubaneswar, for organizing this first impact workshop. Neetu, if I'm not wrong, this is the first impact workshop?
Yes, sir. Sir, this is the first.
For conducting this first impact workshop in magnificent way, and my good wishes for the future workshop to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor. It was really a wonderful. Given has a lot of inputs about the initiatives done by AICTE. Even I used to interact with the AICTE professionals on day-to-day basis. I never knew that these many initiatives have been taken by the AICTE for the betterment of the building the better. Thank you so much for enlightening us on the various initiatives done by All India Council for Technical. And thanks to all the panelists from the industry and Dr. Neetu Madam. And I request Professor Dr. Loknath Panda, the technical coordinator from CET Bhubaneswar, to give you vote of thanks. Professor Dr. Loknath Panda.
Thank you very much. So,
Sir, your voice is not audible, sir.
Exports.
Dr. Saroj Pradhan sir, I hope he has got some network, it seems, sir.
Yes, sir. Probably some network problem. So, on behalf of College of Engineering and Technology, Bhubaneswar, I heartily thankful to AICTE Chairman, Membership and Secretary, and Deputy Director AICTE for hosting this event, and all the industry panel members, the Ms. Misra, Chief Innovative Officer, Panasonic, Lakshmi Narayan, VP and Head, HR Infosys, Ms. Jasrita Dhar, AVP Brand and Marketing Fortis, Sri Daniel Jacob, VP HR, who have given a very technical knowledge to our student. And I am also very much thankful to the ICT Academy, which are Raghavan Sir, for arranging such a wonderful platform for impact program, and with this help of this uh, uh, this member, Professor Rajiv Kumar, member secretary, who has given a wonderful idea about the 8 modules for the training of these teachers, which will help not only help the students, which will help enhance the teaching capability of the teachers. Also, all the industry panel member who has given such a wonderful technical edge for the marketing regarding AI technique, cloud computing, all those things which will be very much beneficial to the student for their placement as well as internship. We are also very much thankful to NASCOM, PICI, CII for giving consent to take Odisha students for their internship. In fact, we have got internship through NASCOM to our students. Those are paid internships. Once again, I thank all for attending the webinars, and I also thank Professor Antarjami Mishra, SPIU head of Odisha, for giving all support to conducting this. And we are around 1,500 participants who have participated in this webinar. There must be very thoughtful technical knowledge about this webinar. Lastly, I thank Mr. Raghav Srinivasan from ICT Academy for arranging such a wonderful webinar session. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thanks all.
So now we can conclude this meeting.
Thank you, everyone. We are concluding this meeting now.
Thank you.